Right now, with the election fast approaching, election security is on the top of the minds of many. What a new report is saying for your vote here in Wisconsin. Plus, we're live at one of the oldest affordable housing complexes in Madison as they put on a block party for the community. And later, as those devastated by Hurricane Helene continue to pick up the pieces, how one Wisconsin community is trying to help out. Welcome to News 3 Now. Well, if you cast your ballot here in Wisconsin, your vote is safer than in most other swing states. That's according to a report published Thursday by the nonprofit political research organization Informing Democracy. Our Maddie Himes joins us now with the research findings.
The report analyzes potential vulnerabilities, things that could threaten election integrity, along with the election officials, processes, and safeguards we have in place here in Wisconsin. The report claims that Wisconsin has the most local election offices of any state in the country, with more than 1,800. But according to Informing Democracy, the guidance provided by the Wisconsin Elections Commission leaves little room for discretion when it comes to the duties of individual election offices and workers. Researchers say this broad oversight makes Wisconsin's election processes, quote, grounded firmly in state statute. Dane County Clerk Scott McDonald says he's confident ballots in our state are safe and secure.
What I try to explain to people is there are many different safeguards on the whole process, so we don't rely on a single point of failure anywhere along the whole stream.
In terms of our state's officials, the report found that at least 15 county clerks in our state resigned following the 2020 election. That turnover rate means that more than 20% of current clerks haven't worked a presidential election yet. The report also found that about 7% of our state's election officials have either denied, questioned, or attempted to subvert election results. But that number is reportedly low compared to other states. You can find the full report on our state's election certification process up right now on channel3000.com.
Maddie, thank you. Amid the election, we see headlines about the latest poll numbers, but a fun side hobby for political observers can be tracking the political betting odds for the election cycle. Political reporter Will Keneally spoke with two UW experts about how the betting odds are shifted by what happens during the campaign.
We aren't going to say that we can know exactly what's going on behind the curtain, right, and how they're making these decisions or choices. But what we do argue, and we've seen historically, is that the way that these bets are set up reflect kind of a broader mood of the electorate, but also when they're bets about specific issues, say when it comes to presidential debates, they're going to really reflect issues that citizens are concerned about.
She says that can also offer insight into possible racist or sexist views the electorate holds of certain candidates. You can see more from the conversation this Sunday at 10:30 on For the Record. Former President Trump will be back in Wisconsin this weekend. He's expected to speak at the Dodge County Airport at 2 p.m. Sunday. Doors open at 10 in the morning for the event. You can find ticketing information at channel3000.com. This will be the fourth campaign stop he's made in the Badger State in the span of about a week. And President Joe Biden is returning to Wisconsin next week. The White House says the president will be in Milwaukee on Tuesday. There, he'll tout his administration's work in job creation and replacing lead pipes. No word yet on where exactly Biden will be or what time he'll be speaking. The president last visited Wisconsin in early September when he stopped in Westby. Madison police are asking people on the city's east side to keep an eye out for a missing man. Eric Bohl has been missing for more than a month. Bohl left his home August 24th on an e-bike and has not been seen or heard from since. Police are concerned he may have hurt himself and are using several resources, including drones and canine teams, to look for him in parks and wooded spaces in the area. They ask those who own wooded and remote property to check the area for any sign of Bohl. If you find anything, you can call 911. A music teacher at a Baraboo Elementary School is in custody for allegedly having child porn in his possession. The Columbia County Sheriff's Office says it started investigating Dakota Mellon following a trip from the Wisconsin Department of Justice. The 28-year-old faces 20 counts of possession of child pornography. Mellon will make an initial court appearance next week. According to the Sheriff's Office, Mellon was previously a teacher in the Lodi School District. Meanwhile, the School District of Baraboo's website lists Mellon as a teacher at East Elementary. News 3 Now is reaching out to both districts for comment. Turning to weather now, where the mild temperatures remain, let's check the first storm forecast with Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington. Hi, Alex.
Hey there, picture perfect out here on the patio. Light winds, temperatures are cooling down because the sun is starting to set. And when that happens, all that radiation of that warmth near the ground starts to go out to space and we cool off then at the surface. Right now, our temperature out there in Madison, 63 degrees. Mind you, our normal high temperatures for this time of year, right around 66. So we're really close still to our normal high temperature for this time of year. Winds, as I mentioned, pretty light out here on the patio, but still at 7, east-northeast at 7 at the airport. Let's plan our evening together, folks. Clear skies will be in the lower 50s when you join us again for the 10 o'clock newscast. Overnight tonight, we will see those temperatures dip down into the mid to upper 40s, especially for Madison and areas points north and east. South and west towards Dubuque, your overnight low temperatures may stay a little bit warmer into the lower to middle 50s because that's where warm air is coming from. It's from the south and from the west. Here's those lows again, cooler to the north, warmer towards the south and towards the west as we move into Saturday. Look at that, 84 degrees for high temperature in Prairie du Chien, 80 in Monroe, 82 in Janesville, pretty much 80 right here in Madison. This is the warmth out ahead of a cold front coming up in Maine weather. Will that front provide thunderstorms across southern Wisconsin? And who will see them? And how strong will the winds get this weekend? I have all of those answers that I'm going to share with you in a few minutes.
Alex, thank you. The number of deaths continues to rise in the wake of Hurricane Helene. More than 60 people are dead in Asheville, North Carolina, with many more still unaccounted for. This after Helene dumped 14 inches of rain on the area. Now the effects of Helene are trickling down to the rest of the country. There's a concern over a nationwide shortage of IV fluid after the storm damaged a facility in Baxter, North Carolina that provides IV fluid to hospitals. And Hurricane Helene left that trail of damage from Florida to North Carolina. Now our Ellie LaLiberte shows us how one community in Wisconsin is trying to help.
Portage, Wisconsin is 850 miles from Asheville, North Carolina. But that's not stopping one community here from showing their support. The owner of the Saddle Ridge Clubhouse in Portage, Wisconsin, and a friend are working to collect supplies to drive down to Asheville. So far, they've collected more than 1,000 pounds of items. That includes cases of water, formula, and pet food. For the owner, being able to use her space to help is important.
You know, I'm a mother and a grandmother, and I couldn't imagine being displaced, not being able to find my kids, not having resources. You know, to say that it doesn't pull at your heartstrings is tough, but you just want to help any way that you can.
They are still trying to get more supplies. Some of the items they are looking for include water, non-perishable food, blankets, and toilet paper. You can drop those items off at the Saddle Ridge Clubhouse in Portage. Now, for other ways to help those impacted by Hurricane Helene, you can go to our website, channel3000.com. For now, reporting in Portage, Ellie LaLiberte, News 3 Now.
And happening now, a community celebration on Madison's north side. Kennedy Heights Community Center is having a block party. Tanisha Shaw is there right now. And Tanisha, this is one of the oldest affordable housing complexes in Madison?
Yep, it's one of the oldest affordable housing complexes on Madison's north side. You can kind of hear it. A band just started a little bit ago, so we're really getting a live music feel. And I'm here with the woman who's making everything happen. This is the executive director of Kennedy Heights, Elsa Caetano. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
So first, can you tell me the history of Kennedy Heights and why this neighborhood is significant?
Sure. Kennedy Heights was actually the center was created by the residents in 1986, and it was originally run by the residents as an association, and then eventually it became a community center that is 60% funded by the city, and then 40% by private donors and a little bit from the county. And yeah, so it's important because a lot of the residents that are here today actually were here when it was created, and they're still taking part in the center, you know, today. So yeah, we're thankful for that.
Absolutely. How can other people help out this community?
Yeah, so if you go to our website, Kennedy Heights communitycenter.org, you can find a way to donate there. You can also volunteer, and you are also always welcome to come and visit. We have a lot of things going on with the youth. We have youth programs from after-school programming and summer camps, and we also offer adult programming. Like we have the block party, we have monthly meetings for the community. We also have weekly fitness classes. We have a variety of events that we offer to the community. And also, we also offer resources to the adults in the community. Yeah.
Absolutely, and we've been out here a little bit, and it's so fun. The kids are having fun, and there's even voters registration, and you're giving out diapers, light bulbs, the necessities that people need. We're going to have the ways that you can help out Kennedy Heights online on our website in a bit. Reporting in Madison, Tanisha Shaw, News 3 Now.
All right, Tanisha, thank you so much. Coming up, a major win for the U.S. labor market, what the latest jobs report is showing. Plus, an experiment on part of State Street will be wrapping up soon, how you can give feedback to make it better in the future.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6, brought to you by Gruber Law Offices.
When a truck accident happens, the results can be catastrophic. Our dedicated and proven team is here to help, and there's never a fee until we win. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Are undocumented immigrants that are the least likely to commit a crime.
Meet Edwin Ramos. This illegal immigrant murdered 3 Americans. An MS-13 gang member. Ramos was arrested for a gun crime, but as DA, Kamala didn't prosecute him. Months later, Ramos murdered a man and his 2 sons in cold blood.
Are undocumented immigrants that are the least likely to commit a crime.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Career politicians like Peter Barca will say anything to get elected. His latest negative ad against Brian Style, it's been called blatantly false. The truth, Style has always supported IVF. He co-sponsored a resolution supporting IVF, and Style backs legislation to help families afford IVF. Peter Barca can sling mud, but we deserve better than just another lying career politician.
I'm Brian Style, and I approve this message.
Kamala Harris is going to significantly raise taxes.
Taxes are going to have to go up?
Kamala's plan will raise families' taxes by nearly $2,600 a year. Under Kamala, prices have already soared. Now she'd make it worse with even higher taxes.
Taxes are going to have to go up?
President Trump will cut taxes again. No taxes on tips, overtime, or Social Security.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
The impact of the black vote can largely change elections.
And I'm meeting with the local voters that can play that pivotal role. We'll learn what matters most to them and what each candidate must do to earn their support.
3 for the People, Monday at 6. You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Welcome back. If you haven't taken part yet in this year's State Street Pedestrian Mall, you have until the end of this month to do so. During the experiment, non-emergency vehicles were not allowed to use the 400 to 600 blocks of State Street in Madison after 3 p.m. on weekdays and after 10 a.m. on weekends. At that time, pedestrians and bicyclists are allowed to use the space freely. Several community events and performances are also held in the area.
We definitely wanted to help draw more families downtown with some of the kid-friendly events and more people from other parts of the city who may not come down to Lower State Street or the campus area as much.
The city has been collecting feedback about the experiment all summer, and that feedback will be given in a report to the Common Council before the end of the year to decide whether to regularly bring back the pedestrian mall. There's good news from the latest job report. U.S. job growth accelerated much more than anticipated last month. The government reports employers added an estimated 254,000 jobs in September. Economists were initially expecting around 140,000 jobs. It's also a higher tally than August's monthly total of 159,000. The unemployment rate dropped slightly to 4.1%. Still ahead, how a new neighborhood coming to Middleton plans to redefine sustainable living. Plus, time is running out for you to donate to the Coats for Kids campaign. We took a look at the latest tally. And what Badger fans can expect the weather to be like for tomorrow's game against Purdue. Alex has a complete forecast when we come back.
A1 Furniture and Mattress is closing their giant showroom, and that means the best prices ever. Everything must go. Over $1 million in inventory must be sold. Name brands at huge discounts for every room. Store closing sale on now at A1 Furniture and Mattress.
I'm a nurse in Wisconsin, and my patients don't want politicians like Eric Hovde making their healthcare decisions.
I am totally opposed to abortion.
Hovde means what he says about opposing reproductive rights.
Eric Hovde supported overturning Roe v. Wade, which led to an abortion ban in Wisconsin.
And that's a ban with no exceptions for rape or incest.
What Hovde supports criminalizes abortion and doctors like me.
We need to vote against Eric Hovde.
WIN Senate is responsible for the content of this ad.
This shouldn't take too long, should it?
Oh no, I'll have the unit up and running in a jiffy. Oh, sorry, I have to go to the shop and get another part. Sorry, I don't have that part either. Sorry, I don't have that part either.
But you said it would be quick.
At Cardinal, we respect your time as much as you do. That's why our technicians come prepared with fully stocked trucks, ready to handle most issues in just one visit. Discover the difference. Call Cardinal.
You've probably seen all these negative ads against me. Well, here's the deal. They are designed to tear us apart. But here's the truth. My life's work has been fighting on behalf of others. It's why I became a prosecutor, district attorney, and attorney general. I took on drug cartels and human traffickers to protect our communities. Look, everyone is tired of the petty, destructive politics. Let's turn the page and chart a new way forward. I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Prices are up, wages are down, inflation is crushing Wisconsin families. Yet Sarah Kieski, she supports lifting revenue limits, allowing property tax rates to skyrocket unchecked. Even more radical, Kieski's backers want to ban natural gas to heat our homes, driving utility bills through the roof. Tax hikes and higher prices for families and those living on fixed incomes. That's Kieski's record. Expensive and extreme. Reject Sarah Kieski and her radical agenda.
A1 Furniture and Mattress is closing their giant showroom, and that means the best prices ever. Everything must go. Over $1 million in inventory must be sold. Name brands at huge discounts for every room. Store closing sale on now at A1 Furniture and Mattress.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6. Moving forward.
Well, it's the final push for the News 3 Now Coats for Kids drive, which ends tomorrow. News 3 Now is teaming up with Clinky Cleaners, the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County, and Magic 98 to try and collect any size winter coats and apparel. Right now, the campaign has collected 2,363 coats. We also want to thank a mystery donor who dropped off 2 bags loaded with knitted hats to the Sun Prairie Clinky Cleaners on Ironwood Drive. You have until October 5th to donate. Just take any new or gently used coats, hats, mittens, snow pants, and other winter outerwear to any area Clinky Cleaners. And if you don't have a winter coat, consider buying a coat off the Coats for Kids Amazon wish list. Look for the link at channel3000.com/coatsforkids. You also have a link there if you would rather send a financial donation instead.
We're going to go out and buy coats that fill in all those gaps that we don't have. You know, we get a lot of coats for the littles and some of the older kids, but that, you know, kindergarten, first, second grade, we have a big gap. So that's what we're going to buy if we need to with that money donated.
We also welcome volunteers to help organize incoming donations and assist on Coats for Kids Distribution Day. For more information on how to donate and volunteer, visit this story on channel3000.com. For the past 38 years, the community has donated more than 355,000 winter coats. A new Middleton residential development is focusing on climate resilience and healthy living. Located on Parmenter Street around Garber Pond, Bell Farm is now ready to launch the new neighborhood on a 44-acre site. The project has been in the works since 2019 and will add at least 880 homes and rental units. The neighborhood will include a whole wide mix of housing types and prices. The primary home builder says it'll take around 8 months to build a house.
All homes will have solar, all homes will have geothermal, keeping our eye closely on the air source heat pumps too as that technology evolves within cold weather climates. But we're really trying to make sure that in the spirit of everything that's going on in the world, that homes here at Bell Farm can again be more resilient in the face of everything we're seeing.
Bell Farm hopes to welcome its first residents in the summer of next year. Mild weather sticking around. Here's Alex with the complete forecast.
Yeah, Armand, for the next 10 days, our temperatures are going to be above normal, with temperatures very warm as part of the 3 things you got to get out of the forecast on Saturday. A cold front Saturday evening and overnight will bring a chance of showers, maybe a thunderstorm or two. And I can guarantee you a breezy weekend ahead. And I promised in some of our earlier newscasts that I'd show you how gusty those winds are going to be. This is new here. This is our Upland Hills Health sponsored Dodgeville Skycam. I did a time lapse today showing what a beautiful day today. And the advantage that we have is we add more cameras. We're looking southwest. We'll be able to see storms coming into Iowa County, and then we can turn that camera around and watch the storm move east as it heads towards Dane County. This will be a very powerful tool amongst other cameras that we plan to add here in the first warm weather team in the near term. Here's another one here, Capital Skycam, 63 right now. East-northeast winds at 7, a gorgeous evening across southern Wisconsin. Still holding on to 70 in Janesville, 67 in Platteville, and 64 to the north in Camp Douglas. So it's a mild evening. Warmer air's coming in from the south and from the west out ahead of a cold front. So it'll be more mild in southwestern Wisconsin, a little cooler, 41 to the north and east up towards Marquette and Great Lake counties. We all are going to bask in very warm temperatures, 80 in Baraboo, 82 in Janesville, and how about an 84 in Prairie du Chien for Saturday. In October, this is almost 20 degrees above normal. That heat with a little bit of moisture coming up from the south here brings that shower and thunderstorm chance by 8:30 north and west of Madison, right into the Madison area as we head towards 12 o'clock. Best chances for showers and storms will be to the north and east of Madison. Then that line actually weakens and fizzles as we head towards 2 or so in the morning. Best chances for rain, if you're lucky, this will be a quick moving line of showers and storms, maybe a 1/10 to a 1/4 of an inch north and east of Madison. The other part of this weekend, the winds. These are wind gusts expected to be 35 to 40 miles per hour out ahead of that cold front on Saturday. Behind the weather system, winds come out of the west, still gusting at times to 30 to 35 miles per hour on Sunday, with temperatures taking a tumble behind that front. And we do have the Badger game tomorrow, kickoff 11 a.m. This is kind of a recap of Saturday's forecast, going all the way up to 80 degrees by the end of the game. Bring the shades, the shorts, the short sleeve shirts, and well, with breezy conditions at 10 to 20 miles per hour and gusts to 30. Something to take note of, it will be a windy one for sure tomorrow. Behind that cold front, that 67 on Monday and 69 on Tuesday. I have to chuckle a little bit because that's as cold as we're going to get until later in the 10-day. Those temperatures are still above normal. We'll see the temperatures climb before week's end with yet another cold front next week, and perhaps following that cold front, we will be back to normal temperatures.
And coming up in sports, Wisconsin looking to continue their winning streak over Purdue on Saturday, while the Badgers are focused on that number 18. It's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Save big money on your next upgrade now at Menards. Give any room a fresh look with the beauty and durability of tile from Mohawk. Mohawk features over 350 ceramic, porcelain, mosaic, and glass tiles. Artisan Grove ceramic wall tile is 99 cents each after rebate. Complete your tiling job with professional quality mortars and grouts from Tech. Achieve everlasting beauty with premium power grout. It's stain-proof, never needs sealing, and only $18.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
President Trump, you have long vowed to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act.
If we come up with something, we're going to do it, and we're going to replace it.
You still do not have a plan.
I have concepts of a plan. There are concepts and options we have to do that.
You have no plan. When Donald Trump was president, he tried to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. And what the Affordable Care Act has done is eliminate the ability of insurance companies to deny people with pre-existing conditions. You remember what that was like? We, over the last 4 years, have strengthened the Affordable Care Act, and now we have capped the cost of insulin at $35 a month. We have capped the cost of prescription medication for seniors at $2,000 a year. And when I am president, we will do that for all people, understanding that access to health care should be a right and not just a privilege of those who can afford it. I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Senator Baldwin claims she's doing something about the fentanyl crisis and says she got a major fentanyl bill passed. But Senator Baldwin is lying. The bill's main sponsor, Senator Tim Scott, had this to say.
As the primary sponsor, I've never had a single conversation with Tammy about this bill, period.
Career politicians like Senator Baldwin are always lying about something. Senator Baldwin, she's extreme, radical, and wrong.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
Discover a level of comfort you never thought possible. Discover stressless seating at the Century House. Designed to harmonize with your body's natural movements, it's the premier destination for relaxation and rejuvenation. Right now, take 10% off all stressless recliners, sofas, tables, and ottomans. The Century House, 3420 University Avenue in Madison.
It's back to the old Big Ten West this week for Wisconsin, with Purdue coming to town on Saturday. And Luke Fickell's squad hasn't lost in this series in a very long time. The Badgers have beaten the Boilermakers 17 straight times. That means Brett Bielema, Gary Anderson, Paul Christ, and Jim Leonard never lost to Purdue during their head coaching 10 years in Madison. And this current group of Badgers plans on keeping that streak alive.
Yeah, it's something that's definitely crazy, like when you hear that, 17 years. That was the last time we lost him or whatever. I was, 2 years old, so it's like, it's weird, but, let's make it 18 is the way we see it. I mean, it's cool, for 17 years, like you said, we've won, so let's make it another year, Can't be, caught up in the streak. Got to keep the streak alive. No, we got to win.
And it's your final reminder to check out this week's Wisconsin Huddle with Braden Locke. Show starts in just a couple of minutes right here on News 3 Now. It took Jordan Love about a half of football to get back to himself on Sunday, and he'll be the first one to tell you he struggled with his accuracy early on. But with each rep against the Vikings, Love felt more and more comfortable. And while he continues to deal with a knee injury that doesn't seem to be fully back to 100% just yet, Green Bay's QB1 says the reps are what will get him back to playing his best football.
It all comes down to just not getting some of those reps for 2 weeks and trying to get back out there, and haven't had that timing of throwing to live guys. I've been throwing to a lot of stationary routes, things like that. Like I said, last week was a good confidence boost, and I was moving around good, getting out of the pocket a couple times, scrambling, things like that, and everything felt fine. So I think we'll definitely keep building that stuff up.
And it's the first road trip of the season for the Wisconsin women's hockey team, and the top team in the land is at Boston College. This one currently underway. Badgers lead 5-0 in the second period. They're pretty good.
They are pretty good. Well, good weather for this weekend's Badger game.
Really a nice day tomorrow. Sunny tomorrow. Temperatures are going to be in the 70s. We'll be on the breezy side out ahead of a cold front. Then we'll be keeping an eye on a line of showers and thunderstorms moving through the area, especially for Madison and points north and east as we go into the wee hours of Sunday morning. That line will fizzle out, and I'm not expecting severe weather with that line of storms.
All right, there we go. Thanks for joining us. I'll see you again tonight on News 3 Now at 10.